Welcome to Never Been Promoted. Hello, I'm your host, Thomas Helfrich. We are here to help you cut the tide, all the shit holding you back, so you can unleash your entrepreneur, become the best version of yourself, actually, just beyond entrepreneurship. Part of what we do is bring a guest on today. We're going to be joined by Casey O'Toole, the founder of LinkyBot.ai. We're going to get into the weeds on LinkedIn and how he spams. No, he doesn't. I'm just kidding. We're going to talk about how automation AI can come together actually with a bit of class, if you will, and function and strategy. Casey's got a really good background in automation, so this will be a great, healthy conversation. Given my 20 years of consulting on intelligent automation and having a LinkedIn marketing agency, I'm ready to go to the mat with him on this one. Let's go. No, it'll be fun. Listen, thank you guys for listening. Really, we want to create more entrepreneurs in this world. I want you to get better at entrepreneurship. This shit's hard. And I want you to just learn from our guests what they've learned along the way and how to leverage some of their technologies or their services to help you get better. Hit that follow button. I know I say it in all the promos, but that really matters on the Apple, Spotify podcast side, or even YouTube. Subscribe, because you get the latest stuff. It helps the guests get their messages out there and helps us kind of grow our mission. All right, enough shameless plugs. Let's bring to the stage. Hello, Casey. How are you, man?
What's going on, Thomas?
That's probably too little too Mexican how I said that. You're in Costa Rica. That's probably better.
Costa Rica. Pura vida. Pura vida.
Pura vida. Pure life. That's right. I spent did my customary 8 days and had the visions of moving there. And I'm like, then my family shot that down. They like Atlanta and the traffic that's here, I guess. No, it would be a change. So you live in Costa Rica and you moved from California, correct?
Correct. Yep. Was living in Santa Barbara, California for the past 15 or so years, and my career was able to let me work anywhere I wanted. We took a couple trips to different countries, had to be in Latin America, and I was like, well, Costa Rica's the one. Pretty simple. People here are super cool, super nice, laid back, and love it. Absolutely love it.
It's a country that is really receptive to us gringos coming in, but at the same time, as long as you're not disruptive, like if you play it cool and you are cool, they're like, oh, this is great. There's US dollars coming in. People are jiving. Usually people who move there are kind of more aligned to that, blue zone type of living, because Costa Rica is one of the blue zones, right? It's like people live long there. The diet's simple. It's really good rice, beans. It's great.
Yeah. And people like you. I mean, I've lived in tons of different countries, probably all across the world, and Costa Ricans like Americans. They like us, and they're super friendly. Yeah, it's kind of the best of all worlds.
So we're not going to have the Gulf of Costa Rica. I think they're going to. Sorry, I'm getting too topical. By the time this airs, the Gulf of America may be back to Gulf of Mexico. We don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
We won't even go down that path. We try to avoid politics here, but it's not guaranteed. Well, before we move on to kind of what you're doing with LinkyBot, is Spanish required? Or is this something you should learn, or is it not super required to live there?
It depends on where you live. There's communities that are mostly expats, and you can get away with just English there just fine. It definitely helps, though. I mean, you pay a gringo tax if you start speaking in English to people, so you want to learn Spanish just for quite a few reasons.
I like that. The gringo tax. And you happily pay it, which is crazy. Let's get into you a little bit. So LinkyBot.ai, you're focusing on LinkedIn. I like the idea. I mean, LinkedIn's become it's obviously the business network. I love it. We've tried everything on LinkedIn, and I mean legal, illegal, immoral, moral, ethical, not ethical, legit, not legit, just in the last 5 years to see what works and what doesn't. And so we can get into that. Give me the ADHD hook, 3/4 way through your story about LinkyBot, and we're going to back in how you got there. What's the hook? What do you guys do really well?
So we are the first company that has been able to integrate a 24/7 AI sales assistant directly into LinkedIn's DM system. So now our system can not only automate the connection requests and the follow-up messages, but then the AI is triggered once it detects a reply, and then it takes that reply within context of the conversation, generates a custom message to send back into LinkedIn, and it's always on. So and then you can qualify them, have it book appointments, have it go to landing pages, whatever you want. But we train all of our AI assistants uniquely on each of our unique clients, so it kind of stays within parameters. It's pretty crazy.
I mean, that is crazy too, and we can get into this. I'd love to see how you've addressed, If you look in your DMs, right, of LinkedIn, and let's say someone has sent you 15, okay, that's extreme, 5, and you've never replied, but you finally got hooked into something they said, and you look and you see 5 unanswered DMs, I almost always dismiss the one I got hooked on because it's like, oh, they just found a way finally to break through. How does your AI maybe, and we're going to back into kind of how you got there, but I'm curious just in the context of that, how do you guys avoid that sequencing to avoid that appearance of it's just spam?
Yeah, so that's a great question, and we are going into like the strategy and the different strategies between automation and automation with AI, because the strategy with automation typically is you need to fit your entire value prop message within that second message, which is, you create the rapport, you offer value, and you ask for business, and you have a link. Now, you get those enough times, and it's just white noise, right? No one really responds to them, you don't get much
Exactly.
kind of activity. But with AI, because it replies to people on your behalf, now the strategy can completely change. And the way that we approach it now is we simply do our research, we figure out who our target audience is, we determine what their pain points are, and then we simply ask a poignant question that is like directed at their pain points, which kind of establishes our authority, kind of shows that we've done our research, and we just get them to respond by asking a question. Have you ever used an AI sales assistant to generate appointments for you? Or how do you deal with this? And that's how you get them to engage. So from there, you then have the AI qualify, convert, and all that stuff. So yeah, the strategy is much more effective with AI.